237, he's online. Welcome to the show and thanks for joining us. Sekope.
Yeah, thanks, mate. Thanks for having me.
What a resume that you have got. Before we start talking about MP, 110 caps for Oz. Look, you played rugby here for Counties Monaco, Super Rugby with the Waratahs, won a title with the Waratahs. But you've been with MP since 2022. How has it changed over the last couple of years for you?
Yeah, look, I mean, it's there's been some changes over the last sort of 12 months, and no, it's been good. You know, it's the environment's still very young, and being a part of, I guess, starting it and trying to build it from the ground up has been challenging, but one that's I'm really enjoying, and seeing guys that debuted and started playing Super Rugby a couple of years ago are now establishing themselves and in the team, and no, it's been awesome, man. Like I said, it's been enjoyable so far, and the changes have been great, and I think it'll only continue to get better.
How important was it for you to come and be part of that rebuilding of this, about establishing a brand new franchise?
Yeah, look, originally, I guess, and I've mentioned it before, the plan was to come back to New Zealand, and this sort of opportunity landed, in my lap, and so to speak, and so look, I just took on the challenge, and it's been awesome. I obviously, it's not only myself, but guys like Christian and guys from a couple of years ago, like Jack Lamb and Isi Fussy, and those guys really helped to, I guess, set the place up, and I guess as well as there's a lot of young guys, there needs to be the experience and guys that have been around, and we've got the addition of Shani Havili and Julian Saver and James Lay, and that. So that's added to the environment, and guys are learning off those guys, and those guys are sharing their experiences with the younger guys, and that's been awesome to watch.
When you mention those names, they're fantastic names from rugby's past, and and so good that still contributing at this level. But also,
Yes.
when you mention about the young pros and things, and we've talked with your coaches this year and that, and a lot of it that they said is actually about setting standards and establishing just real physical patterns of behaviour, of diet, of coming to training fully focused, all that kind of stuff. It takes time, doesn't it, mate?
Yeah, definitely. And it's hard when you've got, how do I put it, sort of, more than half of the team that's, especially in our first year, there was a majority of the team had never played Super Rugby, and so we had a whole lot of debutants. And it's about, like you said, setting standards, showing them, the habits and what you need to build to play at the top level, and if they want to play at at the top level for a long time, what it requires. So I guess if the term the ultimate pro, you sort of look at it that way, and so there's definitely several parts to it. Teaching those guys what's expected at this level, and what they need to do to get their body, but also their mental side of things ready for the battle, because it is she's pretty brutal. In Super Rugby, I still say it's probably the hardest competition in terms of the ferocity of this pace, and the contact is still quite up there.
You're still enjoying it though, aren't you?
Yeah, mate, it's pretty insane. Pre-season that always hurts, and it's always tough, but I don't know. There's something about it that I still love and enjoy, and I guess more so than the rugby, it's the relationships and helping the next young guy, bunch of young guys through, and trying to set them up on their journeys, and just sitting back and sort of watching how they take it on.
Look, I'm a Palangi man, and I love my rugby, and I look at your team, man, and I think how special must it be to be Tongan or Samoan and be in that environment where everyone else is. I mean, apart from there's the odd coach and things, but it's a completely different environment, and just explain that to us, what it means to you, and also what it means to the young players.
Yeah, look, exactly. I guess it's very unique in its own way. And firstly, we don't represent a union or a franchise or an area. You represent every Pacific Island person around the globe.
Yeah, good call.
And in every child that aspires to play rugby, with Pasifika heritage. So you're representing them, but also, you know, like then the fun part of, you know, that you've got, you know, 40 guys or whatever that all laugh the same, and, you know, the jokes and,
Right,
you know, all that stuff. That's the fun stuff and the banter that goes on. But it's also then, you know, trying to balance up the professional side and, you know, teaching guys that, yes, it's all right to have a bit of fun, but then when you cross the white line, you know, everything, you got to switch on. And it's those little things that if they can master that and build those good habits, you know, that goes a long way to you know, setting them up for a long career in rugby. But, mate, it's been thoroughly enjoyable, and it's one that, I've really, really enjoyed. And in the last 3 years, I've learned so much more about my culture and my people, and that's what's been, you know, I guess fulfilling for me coming back.
Sekope Kepu is with us, MP. Moana Pasifika won 2 games out of the 7 so far in a match-up. Playing the Reds on Friday night, that's 7 o'clock kickoff. Also, just, you know, the interaction that you have with your fans. I know it's really difficult for a lot of people to get to these games, but I always try and watch, because I'm really interested in the crowd and the reaction from the crowd, and it just adds another dimension. It's like the Fijian and Drua, isn't it? It's just adding another dimension and finally acknowledging, you know, the fact that, you know, Pacifica people have played such a huge role in rugby here and across the Tasman for so many years. What I'm trying to get at in a long-winded way, mate, is that I just think it's so important that this franchise continues and survives and thrives. Yeah,
I agree, and I think as long as they set the foundation, set the pathways and everything up right, and engage our people, and I guess if you look at it, you know, we're everybody's second favourite team, and but I think, as you know, as like we're only 3 years old, you know, opposed to the other franchises that are almost 30, so we've got a bit of time and space to make up, but you get those things right, and you know, obviously set those foundations right, like I said, then that should go a long way in terms of getting people engaged and the next generation of kids that you know, want to play for the islands, play for their home countries, their heritage. That's, you know, this being a team that's going to be sustainable is very important towards that.
How also important would it be to get a couple of games back in the islands like the Ndrua do? Because those are just such a spectacle when they play at home.
Yeah. So thankfully enough, there's one in Tonga this year. So that's going to be the first Super Rugby game in Te Whaiva, which is in Nuku'alofa, which is every Tongan in Tonga is looking forward to that.
I bet. I was just going to say, mate, every single person that can will be turning up for that. Brilliant.
Yeah, look, and if we can get more games in the islands, you know, let's say 2 each in the 2 countries, I think that'll go a long way, and I guess build a bit of a fortress like the Ndrua have. So. Yeah, hopefully that's, I guess that's long-term plans, and it's not always as easy to set those games up. Easier said than done, so, yeah.